including 2 children, were ejected from that vehicle. The victims described as 2 males and 3 females. This is USA News.
Welcome to the Continental.
From the world of John Wick comes the Peacock original 3-part event that takes us back to 1970s New York. The Continental.
This institution wields power beyond your imagination.
Let's take this house and everything that comes with it. The Continental, from the world of John Wick. Streaming now.
And away we go.
Only on Peacock.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
A 7-year NASA mission ends today when a capsule parachutes into the Utah desert, carrying samples collected from an asteroid. OSIRIS-REx launched in 2016, then orbited the asteroid Bennu for nearly 2 years. Principal investigator Dante Loretta said the probe quickly touched Bennu, collected an 8-ounce sample of the asteroid, and has spent 3 years making its way back to Earth. Those enjoying the outdoors near the Chattahoochee River need to watch for alligators. The Muskogee County Sheriff's Office warned those who like to fish, swim, kayak, or sit along the beaches of the Chattahoochee River to be careful because of the recent uptick in alligator sightings. The Fort Moore dive team and Muskogee County Sheriff's Office divers saw about 30 alligators.
Watch out for the
near
alligators.
the Highway 280 bridge behind the Civic Center in Columbus. Officials also urging parents to keep their children away from the river in order to keep them safe. Fish oil supplements have come under fire recently after research found many brands make claims about heart health that aren't backed up by clinical trial data. There's even more bad news for these supplements. Many consumers are getting fish oil pills that are actually
I got a little story behind that too.
The global organization for
it might be on
DHA
what you read.
measured the oxidation in the supplements and found that
I guess Danny rode the bright line.
Oxidized and were rancid. I'm Corey Myers, USA News.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You use the Capital One Quicksilver
Middleboro In
card.
review.
You the hero of every
I know.
Maybe a show.
Quicksilver,
Sunday,
you earn
right?
I know.
1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
Yeah.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
Information too?
Next segment. I don't have it up right now.
Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro News, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning, and welcome to Middleboro In Review. I am Joey Driscoll. I am joined by Don. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Joey.
How are you this morning?
A little soggy out there, but I'm doing all right. I'm here with you, and we got our coffee, and got to listen to a little Charlie Daniels on the way in, so I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
A little pep in my step.
All right, our weather. 60 degrees in Middleborough right now. Cloudy skies, rain throughout the day. High of 64 today. Rain continues tomorrow. A high of 62 with a low of 54. Sun comes back on Tuesday. High of 63, low of 47. Taunton, high of 63 today. Right now it is 60. Rain today in Taunton. 62 degrees tomorrow. rain again. Weather comes back. The weather comes back to normal. Or sunny skies on Tuesday with a high of 63. Driscoll, Texas, high of 78. Oh, well, actually, not a high of 78. Nope. It is currently 78. It would be a high of 101 today. A high of 100 tomorrow, with lows on Sunday 77 and 75 on Monday. Tuesday, 96 degrees with a low of 73. And then the weather starts to get a little bit better in Driscoll, Texas with the temperatures. 58 degrees in Driscoll, North Dakota. Rain in the forecast. A high of 61, low of 54. Tomorrow, cloudy skies. A high of 65 with a low of, a low of 49 degrees. So that's the weather for today. I want to mention today is the start of Theater One Productions 4 original new stage readings for the fall. Today will be at the Middleboro Elks, The Fantastical Johnson Family Tree, which becomes completely uprooted, written by Joyce Keller Walsh and directed by Peg Holzmer. This is the first of 4 stage readings for this fall. The next one after this afternoon, or today, whenever it is Sunday, October 15th at the Mitchell Memorial Club. Only Humans Bleed. New ID Process by George Smart, directed by Omer Kurtzy. November 19th, Sunday, November 19th, The Fall and Rise of Dynamite. Will a Duck Boat Tour Guide's Dreams of Stand-Up Come True by Margie Semiloff, directed by Linda Merritt at the Mitchell Memorial Club. And Sunday, December 17th, Shangri-La Paradise Maybe, written by Nancy Temple, directed by Peg Holzmer at the Mitchell Memorial Club. All of these readings start at 2 p.m. and will be followed by a Q&A session between the playwright and audience. All tickets $10, cash only. No reservations, please. They will also collect food donations for the Sacred Heart Food Pantry. So make sure you go to these events. Support local actors and actresses as they do these stage readings, and also go out and support the Sacred Heart Food Pantry as well. Two great things to do when it comes to going to these readings. So, Don, quick thoughts on that? I know we talked about that a lot.
I think we kind of talked about that last week, about the plays and about stages and stuff like that, and how excited I was when I was younger to be in a play. Oklahoma, actually, Central Junior High School in Quincy. That was a long time ago, and you were in Stone Soup. So, I mean, it's always important that, it's an important thing to have, I think, in my opinion. And on another note, I want to thank Catherine Lothrop for coming in last week. She's the owner of Joyful Scoops in Middleboro on Thompson Street. And she spent the whole hour here, and it was a great hour, and a lot of interesting things. And it's always great when we have guests come into the studio. Another Middleboro business owner, and very successful at that. And it was really good. And I want to, getting up 7 in the morning, meeting us here in Middleboro, dealing with a detour too. They had I guess last week they had someone hit a pole on 44, and that was the whole idea of the detour going around 44. Someone hit a utility pole right there where the construction's going on 44. So I guess, today, of all days, keep in mind, especially if you're running down that stretch of road, it's a little tight around there with the construction going on between 104 and pretty much the railroad tracks, whatever street that is over there, crossing there on 44, and then some. So just be a little more cautious around that part of. I mean, be cautious anywhere today. I mean, the roads are totally wet. There'd be a lot of emergency vehicles on the road probably, because every time there's rain, there's always emergency services out there with their lights on, and also service trucks, tow trucks, and rent trucks, and DOT. So, I mean, you see those lights on the highway, please try to move over for them if you could. If you can't move over, just go to a slow speed and be aware of your surroundings. It's very important to move over. It's a scary thing to be on the highway. Try not to even give the state police or any police officer a reason to pull you over, because they got to pull over, they got to get out in this weather. Now they're standing next to the highway, and that's just, margin of error is just too thin on the side of the highway, because you weren't paying attention, or you were speeding, or you were texting, or you weren't squared away with your registration or your sticker or something like that. So it's just real important, because these professionals have to get out on the highway to deal with you. And if it's tail lights out, not knowing, I understand that, but it's a scary thing to be out on the side of the highway. It's no fun, and the margin of error is real slim on the highway. So just the move over law is very important, and I'm in the state police and the EMTs, and even the service people, tow truck drivers and whatnot, DOT guys too. I mean, the Mass DOT with their orange lights, and anyone out there surveying out there, picking up litter, just try to move over if you can. Don't cause an accident to do that. Just slow down. If you can't get in the middle lane or get over, then just slow down. That's the law. You read the law as it states. Try to move over. If you can't, go to a slower, reasonable speed, and pay attention as you go by. And try to, if you see someone changing a flat too, if you can get over to the middle lane, do that. Because you hear about, you got grade markers all over the highway, all over this country of highways, and a lot of them are tow truck drivers, ramp drivers, and they're just going to work, and they end up getting killed working. No one wants to die working, especially on the highway. So just please, especially today, because it's wet, everything's wet, and it's been raining for a while, and all the brakes are wet. Everything's wet when it comes to your car. Everything's wet comes to the pavement. So it's just, the move over laws are real important, and I can't stress that enough. I just hope people, I started to see more people do it, which makes me feel good. But and I'm sure that the state police appreciate it too, and they have stings too to see if you do that. They pull over on the highway. They see if you move over, and if you don't, they get you around the corner. So it's just very important to keep our law enforcement, firefighters safe on the highway, and the tow truck drivers and DOT guys, all of them.
Residents of Berkeley, be mindful tomorrow and Tuesday that work crews will be out clearing vegetation at railroad crossings in Berkeley for tomorrow and Tuesday. Railroad crossings at Cotley Street, Pedalford Street, Myrick Street, and Mill Street in Adams Lane. Crews will be clearing vegetation along the railroad right-of-way and the roadways approaching railroad crossings across the MBTA South Coast rail lines. This work is to improve sightline visibility for both trains and automobiles at the crossings. The following dates for this work are subject to change, as several factors, including weather, may affect this schedule. It's Berkeley's turn tomorrow and Tuesday. Lakeville and Taunton already had their work all set, it seems like. Or at least it's crossed off here on the thing I have here. I'm not sure if any of these got canceled or what. I know we've had some weather past couple of Saturdays, or the past couple of weeks we've had some pretty iffy weather. But Berkeley is up next, and then Freetown, September 27th and 28th. There will be vegetation clearing at railroad crossings in Freetown at Beechwood Road, Richmond Road, north and south locations, Forge Road, north and south locations, Elm Street, High Street, Copycut Road, Chase Road, Brayley Road, and Chipaway Road in Freetown. So That is on Wednesday and on Thursday, the 28th of September. So that's what's going on there. Blood drives. We have one blood drive coming up here for the remainder of September. We have Saturday, September 30th at Coanic Community Health Center, 5 Wally Kruger Way in Bridgewater, Massachusetts, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for that blood drive. So that's coming up next Saturday, September the 30th. All right, it is 7:19. We are going to take a quick commercial break here on Middleboro In Review. You're listening to Middleboro In Review. You're listening to me, Joey Driscoll, and across from me is Don Driscoll, as always, as well. And we're here every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Quick little, before we take a break, quick little programming update, because we have some pretty big news today. So after us, we're going to have Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vandross coming up after us. Always a great message every single week. Always a great program every single week. And then 8:30, we'll have the Rosary, the Sunday Rosary. At 9 o'clock, Medicare Moment with Martha. Always a great program about Medicare. If you're approaching the age of 65 and want to learn more information about Medicare, or if you're already on Medicare and have some questions, Medicare Moment or Medicare Show with Martha. I'm not sure if that's the name of the show now. I think she changed the name of the show recently, actually. She always has a great information every single Sunday and also Saturday. It also airs on Saturday here on WVBF as well. That's coming up at 9. So again, tune in if you want to learn any questions that you have about Medicare, or anything, any information you want to know about Medicare as well, if you're approaching the age of 65. 9:30 to 10 o'clock is the Talking Information Center. 10 to 11 is To God Be the Glory with Pastor Curtis Diaz, coming up at 10 a.m. this morning. That's the first episode of this new program. Tomorrow, Reverend Curtis Dias will also host a show as well, from 12 to 1. I'm starting tomorrow as well, so stay tuned for that. After Reverend Curtis Dias, at 11 a.m., we will have Musical Odyssey with Ed Sutka. And then from 12 to 1, we will have Stand Up Strong with Ed Miller and Bishop Tony Branch. So that is what we will have for today's broadcast schedule. So stay tuned. We are now going to take our commercial break. It is 7:22 a.m. I'm Joey Driscoll. I'm joined by Dawn. This is Middleboro In Review on WVBF 1530 a.m. 99.7 FM. We will be right back after this. I need coffee.
Yours is running like a faucet, huh?
I need coffee. Whew. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Paul S.
Morning.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495.
Take a ride down to
Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4.
Feel up to it, man. I'm tired. If I feel up to it, man, I'm tired.
No, I don't care if you're up to it.
508-583.
Fine, stop walking.
What?
No excuses.
Your hometown station,
You missed that excuse.
along with MWL Sports, is
I'm tired.
coverage of
I thought you said you did some prepping and stuff. What happened?
I'm tired now.
I missed you to work. You get tired?
On Thursday morning, November 23rd. Pre-game coverage gets underway at 9:50 a.m. Don't miss the Turkey Day High School football showdown between Taunton High School and Milford. It's all here at WVBF AM 1530 and 99.7 FM in the Taunton area, or online through the Simple Radio app or by visiting onlineradiobox.com.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces.
I gotta see if I get a new ad for this.
As a hobby.
This is a good ad. I should keep this one.
No, this is old. He's not there anymore.
Who cares?
I gotta contact these guys and see if they want a new ad. He's not there anymore. They might not want it there. Because he's not there.
But you
I gotta contact them.
But you don't.
I'm gonna contact them next week.
But you don't contact people.
Members continue to serve
So,
in our
I
armed
don't know what you're talking about. You thought you want to do this, you want to do all this stuff, and you don't do it.
We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year. And as an
I just hear the same thing from you.
Okay, I get it.
All right, so don't even talk to me about it.
and veteran charities.
We got a bunch of
Veteran Motorcycle Association.
red line closures this month, big time.
We talked about it.
Please visit
What, Thursday?
Yes.
yes.
I don't want to talk about it again.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it again.
This October's the month for the red line being down.
Hi, this is Martha Clopin, your host for Medicare Moment with Martha. Each week, we present the latest information on health, legal, and lifestyle issues that affect you and your family. It's fascinating, fast-paced, and fun as we explore all aspects of the Medicare maze. So join me for Medicare Moment with Martha, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9 on AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, WVBF, your hometown radio station.
Alright, we are back here on Middleboro in Review. I'm Joey Driscoll, joined by Don today, as always. 7:27 is the time. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106 is the number, 508-822-1106 is the number if you want to call in, if you have something you want to talk about today. This morning, on this rainy Sunday. Hopefully it gets better weather-wise pretty soon. Yeah. Alright, we have one other event I want to mention real quick. Revitalizing the Heart of Bridgewater. Vision to Reality is an initiative focused on transforming the town's central business district, which includes Central Square and the area in and around Campus Plaza, into a vibrant hub of business and community. The community-driven initiative will address many of the objectives from the town's comprehensive master plan, which was completed last year. As part of this process, the town will be hosting a community workshop on Tuesday, September 26th at 6:30 p.m. at the George Mitchell Elementary School, which is located on 500 South Street in Bridgewater. Light refreshments and beverages will be provided and childcare will be offered. In advance of the September workshop, the town is conducting additional outreach efforts that offer opportunities for community input and engagement, including polling, which is conducted in conjunction with the Bridgewater State University and the town of Bridgewater and its Office of Community and Economic Development, are also each using social media channels to provide information, as well as distributing printed materials at community gathering spots such as the Senior Center, Town Hall, and the library. So let's move on to, we'll do a little bit about music recommendation today. And that music recommendation is a Charlie Daniels recommendation. Don mentioned earlier that we listened to quite a bit of Charlie Daniels today. One of the songs we listened to was Jesus Died For You, which is on the album The Door. The Door is Charlie Daniels' 19th studio album, which was released on March 14th, 1994, by Sparrow Records. The album was the first of 3 albums, Christian albums, that Daniels recorded for this label. It reached number 26 on the Billboard's Christian Albums chart on May 13th, 1994. That's pretty good. That's pretty high up. Unfortunately, you don't hear anything from that album on Christian radio now, unfortunately. Or anything from those 3 albums on Christian radio now, but moving on from that. Spending 12 weeks on that chart. Again, it was released in 1994. Recorded at Twin Pines Studio in Twin Pines, Tennessee. Quad Studios at Nashville, and Soundstage Studio at Nashville. Again, the label is Sparrow, which is still around today. It's the parent company of UMG, which is Universal Music Group. But some of the musicians on there, Charlie Daniels, Joel DiGreggio on keyboards, Jack Galvin on percussion and drums, Bruce Brown, guitar, Charlie Hayward on bass, Joy Gardner on vocals, and the Christ Church Choir on vocals as well. Again, pretty successful album for Charlie Daniels. Don, your thoughts on this? Maybe your thoughts on, the shame that it's just a shame we don't hear this album or hear many of the songs on this on on today's Christian radio.
How much Christian radio do you really listen to? If you think about it,
I listen to quite a bit.
Yeah,
I do, and I don't hear anything from this.
It's an old album. I'm sure they might play it a little bit, other maybe more south or whatnot. But that song just hooked me. It's just some songs have a hook, and that song has a hook. My friend Scott Mullen, we were watching the 700 Club, and he played on it, and it was on. I watched on that, and then Scott ended up getting the album, and it's just a good hook on it. And I watched an interview of Charlie Daniels around that time, and Charlie Daniels, like any rock star in the 70s and early 80s, a little wild or whatever, country boy. And the mother's like, I want you to do a Christian album. So I think this was maybe his first Christian album he did for his mom. He did this for his mother. And he said that too. And she was so proud of him that he did it. But Jesus Died For You, out of all the songs on that album, I like pretty much the whole album. But this song has just got a good hook. It just starts out, with with guitar, just going, picking. Just if you like guitar picking, that song, the song's for you. And it pretty much tells you about, how Jesus and the Lord will be there for you, even if you're poor or you're in jail, whatever your state might be in life. That there's something higher than what money is and what fame and wealth and popularity can be, because there's a power that's more. And I hear it in the songs, and it's a fun song. You just can just go with it. Wasn't that song a good song?
Yes.
Just kind of uplifting. The whole song's uplifting, and the picking. If you like acoustic and guitar picking, this is the song for you. And you got the backup voices. Who would you say did the backups there? You said there was a choir that did the backup?
Yes.
Yeah, we did the choir, and so it's all the ingredients are there for a great song. And at the end, the picking at the end. So I've been listening to that song since '94, and every time I get a little down, I put that song on, and it lifts me up, because we all get like that. But the name of the album's The Door, right?
Yes.
And the name of the song off that album, The Door, is called Jesus Died for You by Charlie Daniels.
Very good album.
It just picks you up.
Very good album.
Especially on a
very good song as well.
Especially on a dumpy day like today.
Yes.
We listened to like 4 Charlie Daniels song, and there's another song we listened to. It was called Willie Jones, which I think might be a cover that was on the Renegade album. We listened to Layla, which is a cover, which is a Derek and Domino's cover that Charlie Daniels on the same album, Renegade. But instead of guitar, he uses the fiddle and the banjo, so it's different.
This is good. It's different. It's different.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a few listens,
and then
for me to get used to it. It's different though.
Right, those are kind of his newer albums, and there's older classic stuff. Is Willie Swamp. There's always a good song.
That's a very good song. Yes,
and Stroke Race.
Stroke Race. Yes, that's
which
very
was
good.
A movie.
That's a very good song
by Burt Reynolds and Parker Stevenson. I think he was the bandit. Okay, now anyone remembers who Parker Stevenson was? He was a heartthrob in the Hardy Boys.
Yeah,
and he's been in other movies, but people, that's where you got to start. Him, Parker Stevenson, and Sean Cassidy were like the Hardy Boys. And I used to watch the Hardy Boys every week too. So I remember that movie was. I just put me up. I'm kind of dragging. I worked a lot of hours yesterday. It's dragging weather. It was dark when we woke up. It's like, really? It feels like 3 a.m. And it's 6. But that song, especially Jesus Died for You, put me in a good. I feel great. And we got coffee too, so that's always good.
That helps.
Yeah.
Yes, the coffee thing helps.
It's just the picking on that song. It's just I'll probably listen to it again when we're done with the show. It's just one of those songs. It's a lot of fun. It's just it just gets you out of if you kind of like drag the weather out, it just kind of lifts you up.
Yeah, it does, and now I have to be a little bit of a downer because we're now doing our sports segment, and we're gonna start off with a downer here. The New England Football League Championship was last night. The Middleboro Cobras took on the Glen Falls Green Jackets. Heartbreaking loss in overtime. Glen Falls, New York. Yes, Glen Falls, New York.
They played in Middleboro?
In Glen Falls, New York.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they went over to Glen Falls, New York.
Oh, that's a hike. That's a long ride.
And it's a long ride back because they lost.
Ugh.
12 to 6 in overtime.
That's funny how the leagues are like that. That the states are so far. The teams are so far away.
Yeah. In those leagues,
But you know what?
Travel is quite a bit.
Yeah, but you know what? To the kids who played, it's always an adventure to go on a ride. You probably took the bus out to Glens Falls, and it's always an adventure to check out another area other than your own home and try to win a football game. So. Something to be ashamed about. You go in there and you try. There's always a winner. There's always a loser.
So the New England Football League is a semi-pro kind of league. Again, Middleboro Cobras made it to the championship. They did lose 12 to 6 in overtime, and what I heard was a very, very good game.
Who lost?
The Middleboro Cobras lost to Glen Falls Green Jackets.
Okay, right. Sorry.
Which, again, not to nitpick on this, but some of these teams, who just have the logo of NFL teams. Why? Not to nitpick on that, but like, why? Why does that happen? Because I mean, I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot in other teams as well. I don't know why that happens. Because the Glen Falls Green Jackets, their logo is pretty much the Green Bay Packers logo. I don't know. It's just a minor nitpick.
No, because it's identifiable.
I know it's identifiable.
Even though it's not the Green Bay Packers.
It's not.
It's packaging. It's the color code.
Yeah.
It's just like anything.
It's just a minor thing.
It's just like how, getting back to something that's pretty much the same but not, the MBTA maps, the color codes. It's something that
it's something about
your brain,
seeing that logo. It's like, oh,
it's the packaging. It's the packaging again.
Okay.
People are all about the packaging.
Absolutely, yes.
And sometimes the packaging is what sells. That's why brand name products do so well. It's the packaging, it's the labeling, it's advertisement, it's all that.
Yes.
So I mean, you got to get people interested if they're looking at a Green Bay Packers color.
Yes.
Than if it's just something that they don't know.
So again, Glen Falls Green Jackets are the 2023 North Atlantic Conference champions. They defeated the Middleboro Cobras 12-6. In overtime.
Glens Falls.
Yep, Glens Falls, New York.
I know where that is. I spent the night in Glens Falls in 1998
Where is that exactly, Tom?
That's north of Albany. About maybe 40 miles north of Albany. It's right on the Hudson River. Actually, it's where Hudson River splits up and heads up to the mountains, up to Mount Marcy, up the Adirondacks. Mm-hmm. And it's technically the Champlain Canal. And then there's a man-made part of the canal. They call it the Cut. It's 19 miles from pretty much Glen Falls all the way up to Whitehall. Mm-hmm. So that's where the canal continues. So me and my friend Scott spent the night at Glen Falls in the boat back in 1998. And we went to town and went to a local establishment, hung out, and we're talking to the people there. And everyone was so nice. And they were from Boston. But you know the most popular questions? Because on that trip, we stopped at a place called Sully's in Catskill, New York. Mm-hmm. And that was like the first night. And then the second night we stayed in Glens Falls. And I don't remember the name of the place we went to in Glens Falls. But both places, the people out, and they were really friendly. And we're talking. And the first they ask is about chairs. They want to know if I've ever been to Cheers, the Cheers restaurant.
Yes. Yeah.
Both of them. They were all fascinated about Cheers. They think Boston, they think Cheers.
Yeah.
And it's funny, too, because that first place we went to in Catskill, New York, the town of Catskill.
Yeah.
It was a place called Sully's, and the owner, Mr. Sullivan, he was a World War II veteran at the time. I mean, was a World War II veteran. He owned and it's funny how the towns were, because I'm sitting there watching two people talk, and it's just like, it kind of reminds me of that movie, Nobody's Fool, with Paul Newman and Jessica Tandy and Bruce Willis, because it's just kind of the whole concept of the people who live in that town are just so tight. Meaning, and this is a true story, because I was talking to them, and these two, one guy was like the richest guy in town, and the other guy was homeless and lived under a bridge. And they were sitting there having a beer together like they were best friends. There was no disparity. They were just, I don't know what it was. You know what I mean? I mean, who wants to be homeless and live under a bridge? But they were sitting there like pals. You know what I mean? And that's something that I just think is different. I mean, you go to different parts of the country, and things are different than around here. For sure. People look at things differently, and which is good, which makes this country great. But there's my Glens Falls story.
So congratulations to the Middleboro Cobras on a great season.
Yeah.
They came close.
Yeah, they could have won.
They definitely could have won. It was a very, very tight game. Very, very close.
When was the game
played? Very entertaining game from what I heard. What?
When was the game played?
Yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
Last night.
Last night?
So Middleboro did lose in overtime, 12-6. Also, congratulations to the Glen Falls Green Jackets on a fantastic season as well, and the championship. So, there you go. The NFL. Great state of games today. The Packers, who we were just talking about, will take on the Saints today. Dolphins will face the Broncos. Titans versus the Browns. Bills versus the Commanders. Jets versus the Patriots today at 1 p.m. That's a 1 p.m. start. Sunday Night Football. Steelers versus Raiders tonight. Tomorrow there will be 2 games on Monday Night Football. I think that's going to be the norm now, or at least it has been for the past couple of weeks, the norm of 2 Monday Night Football games. The first one, 7:15 p.m., Eagles versus Buccaneers. The second one, 8:15 p.m., Rams versus Bengals. 2 very, very good games, 2 very entertaining games, I think, are ahead for Monday Night Football. So we'll see what happens there. In the NHL preseason is underway, and the Arizona Coyotes are getting quite a workout early on. 4 games in just about 24 hours, pretty much. The Arizona Coyotes are in Melbourne, Australia, for the NHL Global Series, which has a couple of games in Australia for this preseason. And the Coyotes were involved, and they were involved in 4 games. A win against the Kings, a loss against the Blues, a win against the Blues, and a loss against the Kings. So they finished 2-2 in that little trip there. And then they'll have a game again tonight at 6 p.m. So 5 games in just about a day for the Arizona Coyotes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a schedule.
And a lot of travel, too. I mean, going from Arizona, and I think they're going from Arizona to Australia, and I think they're going to be going back to Arizona, I think, for this game tonight. Right. I don't think they're in Australia for this game tonight at 6 p.m. against the Stars. But yeah, Bruins, they start their preseason lineup as well against the Rangers at 5 p.m. this afternoon, which I'll definitely try to watch a little bit of. I don't know. I'm not too interested in preseason hockey, but...
No, but I mean, anybody who loves hockey...
Yep.
And I have friends who love hockey.
Yep.
I'm excited. They're going to watch it. I mean, it's good to watch because you got new talent.
Yeah, and
that's
again,
with the
preseason,
good, yeah.
With the preseason, it may not be too exciting.
I'd say it's more exciting.
But it's very important because of the rookies and some of the other veteran players who might have not gotten a spot or might be fighting for a spot on the team. Right. Especially with these teams that get the Arizona Coyotes, who are on the kind of the bottom of the league. This is very important for them. These games, these preseason games, to see what kind of team they have. Because the Arizona Coyotes, they're trying to rebuild. They're in a massive rebuild situation right now. They might be moving out of their stadium, and they're kind of in a rebuild situation. So these preseasons are very important for teams like that.
Well, it's good. It's good to see the new talent. I think anybody who's a true hockey fan wants to see the new talent. Wants to see the rookies. Wants to see how everyone plays, and even the new coaching habits too. Sometimes coaches change their coaching styles, and it's exciting. I mean, because now hockey season's here, so.
Yeah.
You know, it's
and then, of course, the Providence Bruins
Celtics
coming too.
A couple of weeks after too, soon, right?
Yes.
October.
Providence Bruins are coming up too.
So if you're a hockey fan, this is
going to be an exciting couple of weeks.
Right.
Exciting couple of weeks for the Boston Bruins as well. They got some great players over the off season, and it's going to be fun to see that for sure. So even though the preseason might not be as interesting, it's still very important, and I'll try to be watching a little bit of it here and there. I'll definitely be getting into watching hockey more during the regular season as well. And of course, I always try to watch every single game of the playoffs, especially if the Boston Bruins are in it. But anyway, the New England Revolution played to a 2-2 tie against the Chicago Fire yesterday. And they are in the playoffs as well. They clinched a playoff spot as well with this result. They'll take on Charlotte on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. They're looking for a strong end to the season after what has been a couple of weeks of uneasiness for the team. They're looking for a strong end to this regular season. The Red Sox are looking for a strong end to their regular season as they look ahead to 2024. They're eliminated from the playoffs. They'll take on the Chicago White Sox this afternoon, 1:35, and unless it's pouring outside. I don't know. I mean, unless it's pouring outside, that game will still probably be happening. 1:35 this afternoon. But, we'll see what happens with that game. The Celtics, a couple weeks from now, they'll start their season, as we mentioned earlier. And NASCAR, pretty important weekend once again. Texas Motor Speedway weekend. The Xfinity Series race was yesterday. The Andes Frozen Custard 300. John Hunter Nemechek won that one. And the Cup Series race is today at 3:30 p.m. on USA. Darrell Wallace Jr. Is on the pole for that race. So that is coming up. That's also going to be at Texas. The Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. The Craftsman Truck Series is off this weekend. They will be back on Saturday at 1 p.m. on FS1 at Talladega. So that's going to be an important race for them. All right, it is 7:50. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in review. We'll do our Today in History's birthdays, passings, right after this. We'll be right back. You're listening to WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. All right.
Everybody loves a winner. The Rags to Riches story has become a part of the American dream. And you can hear stories like these every day on the Success Journal. Hi, I'm your host, Chris Whitting, inviting you to join me for the behind-the-scenes stories of those who risked it all while reaching for the stars. Listen every weekday for the Success Journal.
The Success Journal. It comes your way at 7:50 a.m. Monday through Friday as part of WVBF's Morning Wake Up News. Your hometown station, WVBF, along with MWL Sports, is proud to present coverage of Thanksgiving Day football once again. As the Taunton High School Tigers travel to take on the Milford.
Kind of a low-key show today, huh?
November 23rd.
Both of them. Crap.
There's not really much news to talk about.
Nah,
I was digging for something to talk about.
No, it's perfect. I mean, you play your commercials, you do your Today in Histories, and then, I don't know, that's it.
That's it, basically it, yes. Yeah, I don't know, I couldn't find much to talk about. Trust me, I tried. We didn't get to Brightline today. We can talk about it next Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to dig up some good information for that and do a good segment.
There'll be a lot of YouTube videos.
I want to do a good segment on that, so we can dig up some information.
Yeah, and plus you probably have a chance to watch some videos over the week.
Yeah.
Most of the week.
I mean, I watched a little bit already, but I'm going to make sure I want to dig up some good information for it, and do a really good segment next week on it, during our transportation topic. We kind of did a little bit of a transportation topic today. We're talking about the South Coast Rail work. But
we did? Not today.
Yeah, I talked about the South Coast Rail work today. Yes, I did.
What? I didn't hear it. It was Thursday you talked about it.
No, I talked about it today. Right towards the beginning of the show.
Oh.
Man, you forgot about the beginning of the show already?
I don't think you did.
No, I definitely did.
I think
No, it was right in front of me. I definitely did. Boy.
I don't know where you got that, and we started the show off with...
Towards the end of the first segment. Okay. Okay, alright. We got 6 minutes. Plenty of time. 3, 2, 1. And we're back as I turn the music down. There we go. It is 7:54. We got about 6 minutes to go. We have a couple of minutes if you want to call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. 508-822-1106. 508-822-1106 is the number. This is Middleboro In Review with Joey Driscoll and Don. If you want to get in contact with us, the Facebook page, Middleboro In Review, is a good place to get in contact with us as well. We also have the email, middleboroinreview@gmail.com. Again, that's middleboroinreview@gmail.com. It's a great way to get a hold of us as well if you have a question or if you have a topic you want us to talk about on the show. No politics, please. Just make sure your question is not politically. There's no politics involved in your question.
Well,
we don't really do politics on the show.
Yeah, we just won't answer you.
Yes, we don't.
Yeah,
we don't.
Yeah.
We don't really do current day politics on this show. I mean, we talk about political events in history.
On Sunday morning, who wants to listen to it? I mean,
exactly.
It's around you. You can't escape it. It's kicking your door down left and right. It's just mind-numbing.
Yes. So just when you submit a question to the email, again, just make sure it's no politics. Anyway, that's our only rule.
It's not a rule.
Well, our only suggestion. And also, it needs to be radio appropriate too.
No, of course.
So that's our 2 suggestions there.
It's what the heck and darn.
Exactly.
And gosh.
Yes.
That's radio talk. Right?
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Our today in histories. We have a couple here. 1906, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt proclaims Devil's Tower in Wyoming as the nation's first national monument. 1957, President Eisenhower sends the 101st Airborne Division to Little Rock, Arkansas to enforce desegregation. And in 2005, Hurricane Rita makes landfall in the United States, devastating portions of southwestern Louisiana and extreme southeastern Texas. So that is your today in history there. Birthdays. 1755, John Marshall, an American Continental Army officer, a jurist, and politician. He was the 4th Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. 1858, Eugene Foss, American businessman and politician, the 45th governor of Massachusetts. 1896, F. Scott Fitzgerald, American novelist and short story writer, the author of The Great Gatsby, which was made into a amazing, fantastic movie, starring Andrew Garfield, also starring Leonardo DiCaprio as well. So, really great movie. A big recommendation from me. The Great Gatsby, the movie. Fantastic movie. 1936, Jim Henson, American puppeteer, director, producer, and screenwriter. He created The Muppets. 1941, Linda McCarthy, American singer, photographer, and activist, born on this day in 1941. And Stephanie McMahon, born on this day in 1976, American wrestler and businesswoman. was part of the WWE for many, many years. She resigned about a year ago. She stepped aside from WWE about a year ago now, I think it was. Or actually, it was less than that. A couple months ago, she stepped aside from WWE. One passing today, 1991, September 24th, 1991, Dr. Seuss, American children's book writer and poet and illustrator, passed away on this day in 1991. Don, quick thoughts about your today in histories, the birthdays, and the passings today.
Dr. Seuss, all the Cat and Hat stuff, and I as a kid, who didn't read that and enjoy that? Yeah. Dr. Seuss, that's pretty. He was, Dr. Seuss. Yeah, I love Dr. Seuss, right?
He was a great author, a really great author. And Scott Fitzgerald, another great author as well.
Yep.
That we had on our birthdays today. All right, it is 7:59 a.m. Stay tuned for Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vandross coming up right after the news. Thank you everyone for listening today. We'll be back next Sunday. Next Sunday is October 1st.
It is.
So we're in October.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday and a great week. Bye, everybody.